All right, we're going live. Let's see if this works here. I'm live. Maybe. Hello, can you hear me? And if you're hearing this, seeing this, let me know things are working all right. Because I've had some issues in the past, with audio in particular. Let's see. That sounds terrible. Hold on. I think I can fix this. One moment. How's this? Is it better? Hang in there. I know you can hear me, but I think this microphone might be better. How's this? Oh my God, so much better. Nothing to fix. What's up, Hugh? Hugh, I've got I should leave this open so I can read you guys' stuff a little bit better. I got some stuff for you here, Hugh, including some of the stuff on the table. See the table? So we'll look at some stuff today, but this is one of these for you, Hugh. And I'm going to give people, I came a little early to make sure stuff's working, and we'll give people a couple minutes to filter in here. All right, cool. Oh, wrong one. Sorry about that. All right. What's up, Hugh? Light Treason's here. Good to see you. Andy, Massimo, Marco. How you doing, Marco? JR, Epic 21, Jeggins here, John Gray, Richard Barnes, a lot of familiar faces. Steve's here. Awesome, guys. Thanks for being here, and happy Christmas. Hope you guys had a good Christmas weekend, and this next weekend is another year, which is totally mind-blowing to me. So it's crazy to me that anybody watches a guy on the internet talk about like leather. So it's awesome that you guys are here to celebrate a milestone with me. I don't do this for subscriber purposes. You'll notice that I never really say, hey, subscribe to the channel and any of the cliche sort of things. For me, it sort of started off as just a selfish way to present the wallets and leather goods that we do in a more appropriate way, I feel. Sometimes I feel like the still images don't really do a good enough job capturing things like luster or even like how the color shifts on certain leathers. So I thought turning on the camera a couple years ago would be a helpful way to more appropriately show what I love so much about this material. And now it's sort of turned into still some of that. And I now like to share more information about how leather is made. And I've been talking more about footwear and stuff like that. So none of this has ever been about like how many subscribers can we get. So it's kind of crazy that there's 5,000 people that have subscribed to the channel. And the last time we hit a milestone was 1,000. And I made this little block guy here. We stamped out 100 key fobs for the 1,000 subscribers. So now that we've hit another milestone, we're going to do another like giveaway for 5,000 subscribers. So when I say giveaway and I put quotes around it, it's because I'm going to charge $1 for them just so I can get them in my system and ship everything in an easy way. For some reason, our ordering thing won't really work if you put a $0 on it. So we're going to make them $1, and then you can pay, if you want to ship it internationally, that's your choice to ship these. In fact, Danae, who's in the room over here with me, he's making, I've got maybe 10 of them here, and Danae's making the rest of the key fobs right now. So everything should be able to ship soon-ish, I hope. But we've only got 100 of these key fobs, and once they're gone, I'm not gonna make them again. I see people chatting, and I can't read that far away. So let me open this guy up again. Yeah, less echo. Thanks guys for the congratulations. 10K by next Christmas would be really cool. And it's funny because like I watch YouTube, I like YouTube, and a lot of the people I watch have hundreds of thousands of subscribers, and they're always saying, smash the like button and subscribe. So for me, like I don't do that, and I don't really care. So 5,000 seems small compared to a lot of people, but to me 5,000 is insane. It's just I picture a room full of 5,000 people, and sort of mind blowing. So 10,000 would be outrageous. Yeah, Light Treason says it's not weird at all that people are listening to some guy on the internet talk about leather. He wrote that leather's timeless, durable, and gets better over time if maintained. That is, you pretty much nailed it. And that's, for me, it's one of the only things that you can use every day that actually gets better. It's one of the reasons that I started putting wallets or leather in my pocket, just because I love to see how stuff transformed over time. And it seems like a lot of people, I accidentally found a lot of those people too, and you guys. David Macy, hello, my son the Marine loves his Tony the Ant wallet. That's awesome. I'm really glad that he's enjoying it, David. I think that was a Christmas gift, right? Okay, I'm going to try to read this name. Freak Elite. Thank you very much, Freak Elite. And it looks like you might be a crafter based on your icon there. So thanks for coming to hang out. John Gray says, such a good idea too. Long Island Watch does the same thing. It's helpful to see products thoroughly and also size comparisons to see. Yeah, I think you might mean the doing videos about things. It's a really good medium these days because it allows a small shop like us to have a larger audience. So we do have a lot of customers in the local Chicago area, but a lot of people are all over the world that are interested in this leather. So it's pretty cool that you can sort of interactively, or I guess not interactive as much as it could be, but you can just have a better sense of what the stuff is based on these videos. So in fact, this year was the first time I started using this camera, which does a little bit of a higher resolution video. So we started doing some 4K videos this year, which I've been having fun learning how to do. It's a little bit more hard drive space than some of the other stuff, but it shows the wallets in a really like appropriate way. Like it gives you a really good sense of what this stuff is like. And the thing about leather, especially things like grain character, it's hard to understand even through a photograph, some of the detail in the texture. So when I can really close up in 4K on this camera, it gives you a really good sense of the different grain characters. So we've been getting a lot of feedback on different videos where I compare like different animal skins. Like I did one comparing the Cordovan versus horsehide and calf skin and things like that. Oh, Talkeetna. Yeah, I remember you from Alaska. Imagine a YouTube play button made out of shell. We could probably do that. All right, so yeah, Marco, the reason you guys are here, and sorry for letting this hang on the thread. I'm gonna click a button on the computer to make all the stuff go live right now. And before I do that, I want to give you a heads up. So there's only so many key fobs, and when they're gone, they're gone. There's a few really nice special, in fact, all of them are nice. There's some really remarkable private stock stuff in here. including one item that I'm going to sell for $5. It's a shell card holder. Because it's 5,000 subs, I'm going to do it for $5. We weren't really pumped on this guy here. I mean, it works, and I'll show you a better view of this in a minute. This card holder, I put cards in to sort of demonstrate how it works, but this one has this sort of concept that we were considering. And it makes it a little bit difficult to use. So there's a Gator Color 8 Shell Cordovan on the top of this tab, and then smooth, sort of traditional Cordovan underneath it. It's a really well made thing, but it makes it for the cards just to be a little weird to get in and out of. So we're not stoked on it, and I'm just gonna sell it for $5. So before I just want to give you a heads up. This one's gonna go really fast, I assume, and I don't know how many key fobs are gonna go, but they're probably gonna go quickly. I'm not promoting any of this stuff anywhere other than this video as sort of a thank you for the people that watch all the channel. Let's do this. I'm going to just launch right now with just those two things. We'll do this $5 card holder and the key fob. And you're probably going to want to go to the private stock page now and start refreshing it, I suppose. But they will pop up at the top of the page. So let me do that. One sec. We'll do the card holder and the key fobs now. All right. And they're being made active. Setting to and now they're active. And I'll just double check that it's working. But based on the lag that I'm seeing, by the time you hear this, it's probably already up. All right, so they're up there. I'm looking at them right now. So if you want one of these key fobs that we're about to look at, just grab that now. And then at the end of the video, as soon as I'm done presenting all the private stock stuff, I'll make all those available too. All right. So hopefully you guys are seeing that over there. All right, somebody got the card holder. Somebody with the initials EJ. Congratulations, EJ. All right, let's do this. Thanks, guys, for being here to celebrate with me. Let me flip the camera over to this guy so we can see what's on the table. And congrats again, EJ. You know who you are, who got that card holder. That's pretty cool. All right. Let me make sure. Yeah. Okay. It's been a while since I've done a live stream, and I kind of miss it. Let's see if I can do my best to demonstrate the card holder here that EJ just got. So this is the one that we're not. It's a prototype, so we weren't super excited with the concept. So I just sold it for $5 for 5,000 subs. And I wanted to put the cards in here to see how it looks. It's kind of like our Frank the Enforcer design, but we modified it a little bit. It's got a cool aesthetic on the front here with that sort of flush card holder thing. And it might be hard to see in the video, but the here, I'll give a close up. The top section there is this is actually a Gator texture Color 8 shell, and then this is the regular traditional Color 8 shell Cordovan underneath, and we did the same thing on the back. So EJ's new card holder, and then we've got all these hand sanded edges that turned out really well. It's just the functionality of this was a little bit lacking for what we liked. And then on the table, you can see the key fobs. So these are now up on the site right now. You can find it. I'm getting a lot of notifications. Hopefully there's still a couple left by the time people see this. But these are the 5,000 subscriber key fobs, and actually, let's see. We got 10 on the table, and like I said, Danae's making the rest of them right now. So these are freshly made, and we're not going to make them again. And these are made in reverse black shell. And I thought it'd be fun to do the reverse black because they're all a little bit unique. And I like how the reverse shell Cordovan stamps, like you can see here, where we've put, and I should read it to you. So it says Ashland, December 2021, 5,000 subs. We did another one for the 1,000 that looked like this. So, and you'll probably notice this stamp physically looks a little bit different. But this was the one we did for 1,000 subscribers. So this is 1,000 subs. And what is that? January. So this is January 2020. So it took us almost 2 years, I think. You might notice that this sort of block is much different than this. And it's because we changed stamping machines since then. This was the stamp that we used for the 5,000 subs. And then I actually when I was looking for this one, I came across the 10-year stamp and reminded me about July this year where we did our 10th anniversary. These are all the retired stamps that I have, and we've only retired a couple things. But anyways, I was talking about black reverse. This is a leather that I really enjoy, especially how it wears in. It's one of those leathers that it's hard to envision how it's going to change, but it starts off with a nice little sheen here. But as you wear the reverse shell, it gets much darker and it almost starts to develop like a wet look, which is really fascinating, especially in a leather that's kind of green. Most of the times you see veg leather, it's more of a color like this, which we'll get to this guy in a second. But most veg is sort of this light tan sort of skin color. And you can envision how this is going to change. You get a little bit more golden, a little bit darker, and then, of course, that luster change. But the reverse green or the reverse black is a green color, and it ranges. So this is a little bit lighter. This particular one here is like a little bit more tan than what I normally see. Sometimes they can get a little bit more green like this. And both variations are really cool. The other thing I like about it is they're full of random dye splatter. So check this. This guy's got a really cool dye mark on the back, which is another thing I really like. Talkeetna and other leather crafters that are there, I like the reverse sides of shell for interiors of wallets because I like if you take, here's my wallet. And this would be a good transition into the private stock stuff. If you take my wallet, and if the inside was shell here, when that wallet is closed and it rubs together like this, you tend to see the shell side scratch itself. And that's because shell Cordovan is microscopically abrasive. And then when you flip it backwards, as long as one side is reverse shell, it won't have that same effect. I find that the reverse shell is a little bit more easily filled in when it would get scuffed and scratched. You can actually see where the raised letters and numbers of my cards are here. It happens on, this is M's Chrome Excel, a version of Chrome Excel. It happens on any leather, but on the Cordovan, the shell side of the Cordovan, it's very accentuated and it's sort of hard to fill in. So these days I've been preferring something like reverse shell for the insides of our wallets. We can do it both ways. It's a different look. It's more casual. I wear my stuff pretty hard, so I like a little bit more of a rugged look. So hopefully everybody that's wanted a key fob was able to get one. Like I said, we're only doing 100 of these, and they're $1. So if you want a key fob, it could be a fun little collector's piece. And I was kind of thinking, people that got the first one, the 1,000 subscriber one, now you have a 5. It might be fun to have like a little collection as we keep rolling these out. And it might be even more fun if I did it on a more frequent basis, because 2 years is like a little too slow, I'd say. Anyways, let's get on the private stock stuff. And I wanted to show you my wallet here first, because this is the variation of Chrome Excel And look how nice it is. Super nice. We call this the M's Chrome Excel. And the difference between the M's Chrome Excel and the traditional Chrome Excel is pretty stark. They're almost like completely different leathers. The M's Chrome Excel is much more grainy and textured. Let me give you a close-up of this guy. And this one's been worn a bit, so it might not be the best representation here. But it's grainy, where the standard Chrome Excel is a polished grain. So it's like a little bit flatter and smooth, where the M's has more texture. And then the M's Chrome Excel is also pit tanned. So it's a little bit more dense. And in addition to that, it also is hot stuffed with more hard waxes. So it's got a little bit more body and bite to it. So the first private stock wallet we'll look at is an M's Chrome Excel Fat Herbie here. And this is a good demonstration of how it wears in. So on the right, this is a tall Herbie that I've been wearing for a few months. You can see it's gotten a bit darker. Hopefully I can show that. It seems like the light's hitting it pretty hard. It's gotten a bit darker and brighter. I really enjoy the M's Chrome Excel. I have a customer, Michael, who might watch this, who's always asking me how my M's is wearing in, and it's amazing. I really like how this guy's wearing in. So we've got M's Chrome Excel Fat Herbie, and this is the natural color, and it's got this particular piece has really cool texture. I might do something about this light here because it's hitting pretty hard. Give me one sec. Maybe this will be a little bit better. Jolly Pig, Super Pig, Epic. I can't read the screen from this far away, so I'll have to get the chat in a minute. The light's a little better. So this is the M's Chrome Excel on a Fat Herbie. Again, I'm going to release all, as soon as I get done showing all these, I'll hit the button to make all these live, and you can pick one up if you like it. The other thing about this particular wallet is it's made on a horsehide. So the horsehide M's Chrome Excel is a really excellent thickness. In fact, I would say it's excellent thinness. I like a thinner wallet personally. A lot of people ask us to make their wallets as thick as possible, which we can do, especially in something like the Cordovan, because the Cordovan tends to range in thickness, and it tends to be on a little bit of the heavier side, a little bit more appropriate for like making a boot or a shoe. I like thinner wallets personally. I feel like they just lay flatter in your pocket, so you can sort of get a good sense of how thin this guy is, and I love it. That's an awesome wallet. And I have another wallet here in the M's Chrome Excel Horse. This is the other color that we've done. I think we started doing it this year, but this is a color called Russet on the M's Chrome Excel. It's like a red brown and probably a little bit more red. The flesh side of this M's is like a little bit more shaggy, and it might have to do with this being a horsehide. It's a little bit more fibrous on the flesh side of these guys than I normally would love. I still like this one a lot. And this is our coin pouch. So we don't currently offer this. It's something I'd like to start offering within the next couple months, sort of a standard item from us. And we do make a version of this guy with a card holder on the back. We had a lot of Japanese customers that were really interested in a coin pouch from us. So we've been selling a lot of these to Japan. And then they also wanted a little card holder on the back. I don't really use coins, but what this is also good at, and it's probably should not name it a coin pouch, is it also holds cards really well. And I just happen to have those two cards. So you can drop your credit cards on the inside like this, and give you a sense of how that would hold inside of there. So it's just a good, simple, clean card holder too. And I feel uncomfortable not being able to read what you're saying. So we'll keep going with the private stock stuff here. All right. I'm gonna scroll back up a sec. Oh, IMU's here. What's up, man? Second key fob on the chain. Let's go. Kit Fireburn. Oh, Walletopia sent you here. I'm a fan. It's the same thing. It's like, how did we happen to have 5,000 people subscribe to a channel that talks about leather, and like the Walletopia guy is even more awesome. It's like, who's gonna watch some guy talk about wallets all day? But I would, and he does. Marco, you got the 1,000 subs and the 5,000. 10K next. Should we do an intermediate number? Might be kind of fun. Maybe 75. Noah Payne, let me say that your guys' English tan Dublin leather is pristine. I love English tan Dublin. All right. Dye splatter and reverse shell interior. Derek, beat the crap out of your Johnny the Fox. Radigan, love my custom black English tan Dublin Capone. It's funny, I got an order on my desk right now. Somebody ordered up a black and English tan Dublin Herbie that we got to make. Phil, activate a free shipping code for those who already ordered the key fobs. Free shipping. If you Epic 21, if you ordered something else, we can consolidate your shipment and I can refund the shipping fee. Excuse me. Just send me an email and I can hook you up with that. I don't want to charge you twice for shipping. You can email me at phil@ashlandleather.com. PHIL. Richard Barnes says Mike is a serious collector. Some awesome gear he has. You know what? Anybody that hasn't seen the I probably should have flipped the camera back over. Anybody that hasn't seen the Ashland Leather Patina Masters group, some people have incredible collections over there, and it's not just Ashland stuff that we're showing. I like seeing any leather good, so it's been really fun just to see everybody's collection over there. All right, let's keep it rolling. So we had two really awesome M's Chrome Excel pieces. Get ready for these. So this is an exceptional piece. We're talking about reverse Cordovan. So this is the reverse color 8. And we actually hand glazed this in and filled it in that reverse side of the shell a little bit more than what the reverse shell normally looks like. So it's polished in a similar way that the shell side is normally polished, but we did it on the reverse side. So you can see the reverse side of the shell here on this key fob is a little bit more dull. It's got almost like a velvety feel and sort of like a micro suede sort of look to it. It's not as smooth and polished and filled in as we did on this private stock tall Tony the Ant. And this one has an incredible Horwin ink stamp on the back with really great dye splatter. And the inside, I really like, we did the same thing here. This is all reverse hand glazed color 8 shell. I like this guy right here, where it's just this Horwin ink stamp only on this one card slot. And then we've got some red dye marks here. It's sort of like roughed up looking, but everything is very smooth and polished and filled in. I really like this tall Tony. And then another one that's all reverse, or excuse me, it's not all reverse. It's reversed and polished on the inside. And this one's, I think this was a private stock we did before, and somebody may have canceled their order. So this is incredible dye splatter on the left and the right. We've got the small Ashland stamp on the bottom right here without the A circle. But what's really unique about this guy is this brand on the outside. So this is 13 on a piece of marbled color 8. That's pretty awesome looking. And 13, I think, is an unlucky number, but I don't know if this is an M with like a mustache or what could this be? A noodle W? But maybe it's 13. I think 13 is a cool number. So marbled color 8, and this is, again, on top of some reverse hand glazed color 8 here. So this is the same leather that we see on the inside. You just get a little bit less context. Check that out on the inside of this guy. Really, really neat Fat Herbie here. And we've got 1, 2, 3, 5 more wallets to look at. And again, all of these are going to be released as soon as I hit go. We'll look at all the wallets and then I'll publish them on our private stock page. This next one here really surprised me at how much I like it. This is our one-shot card case. I originally liked the one-shot. I was thinking of this one as more of a minimalist style. And then because it was so small, we could reduce the price on it. So I wanted to make this wallet one where people could try different leather types. And it's been successful in doing that. So last year we did a lot of one-shot card cases. I think it was actually one of our, might have been like a third best-selling product was this guy here by unit sold. And I think it's because we did a ton of different leathers and colors. And that was the whole goal of this, was to sell a relatively inexpensive wallet with different color options. So this is one of those options. If you look inside here, this is actually natural shell inside of the card slot. So this is reverse natural on the outside. I don't think I've ever seen a reverse natural with a dye splatter mark. So that's kind of weird. It's rare and weird to have this little mark here. I like it also. It kind of looks a little bit like reverse color 8 there, but it's lighter and more tan everywhere else. This one's going to age really, really well. And on the back and a little bit on the front, we also have the Horwin measuring machine stamp, which a lot of people are looking for. Each shell gets stamped one time by Horwin with the this measuring machine here. So this is the date, 07/22. That means July 22nd. And the back here is the tannery, the country, 1.4 feet squared. So this is 1.4 square feet of a piece of leather here. All the shells are really small, which is one of the reasons that they're so expensive. The other thing that's a little bit different about this one is that it's been hand stitched with like this cream color thread. It's a pretty nice one shot. I also wanted to mention these are all discounted even more to help celebrate the 5,000 subscriber you guys. I probably should have mentioned that up front, but we're going to do a little bit of an extra discount on some of these. The website right now is still 10% off, so it's at least 10% off, probably more. All right, check this guy out. This is one I had sitting on a table sort of next to me for the last week, and every time I'd walk past this, I had to double take just because of how awesome the marble pattern is on the outside of this. So this is marbled color 8 shell Cordovan, and the marbled color 8 ranges again from that dark brown, more reddish burgundy sort of purpley shade, and this one ranges more dramatically towards that sort of lighter natural orangey tan color range. It's really neat. They're normally not as dramatic as this, and personally I prefer the drama. On the inside, this is a little bit more of what I think people more or less, I think more people like this more subtle vibe of the marbled shell that you have on the inside here. So this is a tall Tony the Ant, marbled shell, color 8 on the outside, marbled color 8 on the inside. And that's one of the things I like most about the tall versions of the Tony and the Herbie is you get that continuous look of shell on the outside and the continuous look on the inside. I was so excited to launch this one that we haven't even edge finished this one. So we still have to wax and bevel and burnish this guy here. But I was just too excited to, I kept passing it. So I wanted to show it and put it up on the video today. Marbled color 8, tall Tony the Ant. This one is another one we were messing with today. This is 2 different blue leathers. And I think it turned out really well. I don't know how this one came about. This might have been a custom order that somebody canceled, but this is raw denim shell Cordovan on top of regatta blue latigo in the center here. So it's not shell for this middle piece, nor is it shell for this piece here, these bottom 2 card holders. So it was a good opportunity to compare different blues, I think was what we were going with for this. Raw denim is the lightest blue Cordovan color that currently exists. It's got a really nice aqua blue to it, and because it's raw, you kind of see everything. It has not been polished in, As this is worn, starts to polish up in your pocket, it's going to get brighter and shinier, and it will darken a good amount, but you'll always sort of see these blue undertones to it, which I like more than something like the navy shell, which I think is sometimes a little too black. And the Latigo on top here is a very grainy leather. Actually, I have a key fob made out of that same exact. So you want to see how awesome Latigo is. This blue leather on top that's super bright, like Superman blue. This key fob that I've had for 10 years is that same leather, but 10 years later. And you can really see how shiny it's become and just how beaten, like as it's become beaten up, just how awesome it looks. Let me give you a close up of that guy. Here. This is my super old key fob. Yeah, there we go. So I picked this one because it looked like Superman. And 10 years of wear. This hasn't even been in a pocket. So, as a wallet, just polishing all day in your back pocket or something, the Latigo wears in very, very well. I love Latigo. So we've got this guy here, raw denim on top of the regatta blue Latigo. And then here's a look at the inside. There we go. So this is the top two card holders are also raw denim on top of regatta blue. The thing we're messing with today, the cross section on the blue Latigo had a little bit of like a white streak through it. Like the dye wasn't fully, it was not fully penetrated through the leather. So we actually we tried to just stain the Latigo and not stain the shell because we liked the color look of this sort of brown with blue. So Miranda, who finished this one, did something that I don't think we've ever done before, which was stain the whole thing blue and then just sand away one layer, the brown layer here. And it turned out really, really well. So sort of this sandwich look of brown and blue that I really, really like. I think this turned out better than I thought it would. So props to Miranda if you ever watch this. All right, two more wallets. This is my favorite shell color. Ooh, I gotta focus. Okay, this is a great looking Capone. This is Amaretto Shell Cordovan on the Capone money clip. It's a great minimalist style wallet. I wore one of these in English Tan Dublin when we first released them November 2020. And I was surprised at how nice or how much stuff this held because I normally carry a Fat Herbie, which is huge and just holds a ton of stuff. This Capone held the same amount of stuff. And I was surprised at how much I liked exterior card slots like the Capone has. See you today. So this one's really great. And you'll also notice the color directionality in the Amaretto shell. And I think that's what fascinates me so much about this particular color is it has this amazing range from like our reddish brown, like you see there. And then as I spin it, it becomes more lively, a little bit more vibrant and yellow and sort of orange. So Amaretto shell is really awesome. And then on the interior, really great look with more Amaretto shell and that Horwin ink stamp just perfect in the center. And one last wallet. So this one, to me, this is like the mind blower. And I'll hide it. Oh, you can see the other camera. Okay. So this is a wallet that if we could make more of, I'd be a rich guy because this is something I feel like a lot of people would really want. And we just can't get enough of the leather to make it happen. And you may have noticed the Color 8 Shell Cordovan Johnny the Foxes. I can't keep that wallet in stock, and I get people asking me for that one every day. And I'll try to describe the reason why. It's because we can't get Shell Cordovan the perfect thickness if we wanted to. We sort of have to sort through shells and use the weight gauge on the certain sections of certain shells, and maybe we'll get one pattern piece like this card holder here, out of that little piece. So it's a lot of sorting for the perfect thickness of leather. So this guy here, 100% natural shell Cordovan. The exterior of this one has a really, really neat sort of textures and striations on it. I don't know if I would call this the epic natural, but it kind of is. It's a little bit more subtle than some of the epic natural texture stuff. It's really nice. And natural shell Cordovan, it's our most popular shell Cordovan color. And here's a look at the interior. And this is what's different about this guy, is it has not only is it natural shell that we don't ever get. It's so hard to get shell interiors for the Johnny of the Fox, but it's also in a natural color. So we got this really special piece to sort of cap off our 5,000 subs video here. Well, it looks like there is one stamp in the bill slot, but no Ashland branding or the shell Cordovan branding on the left. It's a pretty clean look here. All right, so let me launch all these so you guys can pick it up, and then this is probably time to call it. Okay. Whoa. Any questions about private stock stuff, guys? Hi. Okay. If you have questions about private stock, let me know. And by the time you hear this, you might want to be on the private stock page to refresh to pick up one of the ones that you may or may not want, because I'm going to click and make them active right now. And active. Setting is active. So I think those private stock wallets are now up. Yeah. Just double checking. Yeah, I think everything's going. All right, there's the Amaretto Capone. The Johnny the Fox I even put on sale, even though I shouldn't have. All right, it looks like everything's up. So thanks guys for subscribing. 5,000 is a pretty large number to me. So I know, like I said, a lot of the channels that I like have hundreds of thousands of people that subscribe. But to me, 5,000 is insane. And I just wanted to thank you guys and try to give back in a small way. Oh, Jim Wiles is here. I missed you, Jim. Good to see you. Who else did I miss? Josh McCarty. Happy New Year, man. All right. Who else did I miss? Floyd is here. Thanks, Floyd. Pajama Man. All right. Looking forward to Tumble Verdigris lighter sheath. Tumble Verdigris, when that is textured in a very specific tumble pattern, is unbelievable. Stephen Chia, sorry I missed your thing in the chat. No watch straps today, but we probably have some more of those coming. Quan's here. Raw shell is the greatest leather invention. I love the raw shell. I think these days it's being like, there was a very specific way that I had the raw shell processed at the tannery, which I don't know if they're doing for everybody these days. It's also known as unglazed shell. The way that I originally did the raw shell was like even less stuff done to it. I think the end result of patina is pretty similar, so I'm not super picky on it, but that raw natural shell was something I sort of, I don't know if I should even give myself credit, but it's a thing I did in 2011 and made my friend a wedding gift wallet out of that raw natural, and it's just aged so well. Every time I see my buddy Justin, I have to see his wallet. It's really cool. And he's got like I made him a prototype version of the Fat Herbie that was different than the Herbie we're doing now, so it's like a really unique piece. But yeah, raw natural shell. And in fact, like all the light color shells have a really dramatic range for the patinas that they develop to. I'm pretty into it. I'm also, we do a lot of Cordovan stuff, and I have people come in and want to know what I wear. And I showed my wallet in the video here today. I don't have a lot of shell stuff. It's pretty nice. In fact, it's really nice. But I think sometimes the other leathers are overlooked. And I think maybe I'm just privileged to say that because I get to see a lot of shell. But I'm really still fascinated by other tannages that Horwin does. I love the Latigo. Really love the Dublin. Seems like a lot of people are really into Dublin. That Arabica Luxe came out this year at Alden, which I really enjoyed. I like a lot of different tumble patterns. I like different finish effects that can happen on printed leathers even. So there's a lot to experience, and I guess I feel like I've experienced a lot of the shell. So I want to experience, like, how does this M's Chrome Excel wear in, and this is sort of a newer one for me. So it's kind of like a little adventure I like to take with the leathers, as stupid as that sounds, just to see how they all react to just being worn. So I like a good mix. The raw natural is definitely at the top of the list for dramatic change and patina development. I don't think you can beat that. I think that's the absolute best. Trevor Butler says, I love my Johnny the Fox. Can you make a checkbook cover to match? Yeah, we've actually done, I'm not sure what leather your Johnny the Fox is, but we've done some checkbook covers before. If you want to, I'll type my brother's email address. It's info@ashlandleather.com. If you want to hit him here, hit up for a checkbook. Matt's really good at helping people out, so he can even sort of customize that if you're trying to change up anything specifically. But there's a few items that we just haven't had the capacity to have in stock all the time, so we sort of only do made to order on things like a checkbook cover. There's a long wallet that we do, passport holder, which we need to make a standard item. There's a few different things that are only made to order. There's also one wallet that I want to try to release next week. I have it. I need to start wearing that wallet because I haven't worn one fully yet. I really want to wear it as a wallet. We made a wallet that I'm going to release next week that I'm calling a business card holder, but I have to make a gangster name for it. So we developed it with the idea that you'll be able to easily hold and remove business cards, but also function as like a standard wallet with credit cards and cash if you need it. So we have that coming out next week. I think I'm gonna do a pre-order on those, but I'm pretty excited about the design because it's not typical. I don't know if you've seen anything like it before, but essentially it has a closure that's sort of designed with the way that leather molds and forms around things. So we made a business card holder around that concept. And I think it was actually Dan's design from a couple of years ago that we're finally releasing now. Tremaine Blair, good to see your name, says, congrats, and may the next year be even more fruitful. Thank you very much. Man, this year was tough. COVID, we got a few people out of work right now with COVID and vacation. It's been pretty tough. Oh, cool to see the 13 Herbie again. Yeah, that was, I think somebody ordered it and canceled it because we can't make that brand happen. So I was surprised to see it again too. Epic says, want to order an English tan Dublin in 22 millimeters. Can I order the 20 and send you an email? Want it on my 22 millimeter with ecru or white stitching. Yeah, I can do that, Epic. I can make you a 22 millimeter strap. We do that. If you want the long story, we also have 24 and 18 millimeters that we can do. On the website, we tried to simplify stuff just before the holidays this year, and try to keep stuff in stock. So a lot of the stuff on the site, even though it said made to order, we actually made like a batch of what we thought would be the most popular sizes, and they tend to be 20 millimeters. So I think we temporarily took down the other lug widths, but I can totally make you a 22 millimeter watch strap, especially in English tan Dublin. So this Apple Watch band, technically this is 25 millimeters, and I made this one. I'm not sure what your watch looks like, but if you have a thicker watch face, or like if the case is kind of chunky, I'm kind of digging this belt weight English tan Dublin. At first, I didn't like it, but I've grown to love this strap, and I've been wearing this one for more than a year now. And I don't know how well this will show, but it's just developed in such a pleasing way. Man, there you go. I ride the Peloton bike on this thing. I work in this all day. It's thicker than the normal straps we make, but I like the vibe, especially for like a chunkier face or a chunkier case for a watch. I think it's a good pairing. So you might want to, I can do a thicker English tan Dublin also. And in addition to that, if you really want to get crazy, I don't recommend this, but we can also do multiple layers of leather. So we could do it even thicker. David, who did I miss? Somebody's name is couldn't think of a good name, so I guess this is it. Said the black Dublin is amazing. You know what, man? I feel like, I'm so glad that you said that. I feel like black Dublin is by far the best black leather that I've experienced. And we've noticed that people don't tend to buy black Dublin from us. In fact, people don't tend to buy, I mean, we'll sell them. In fact, I think we're sold out of black Dublin Foxes right now. But I think people come to us because they want like a unique treasure. And the black Dublin, I feel like people look at it and they go, oh, I can get a black wallet somewhere else. But black Dublin, like even if you don't buy it from me, like check out black Dublin. It's so nice. I just love, for a black leather, it's like the only leather with any amount of character. So really recommend black Dublin. There's been companies like Shinola that have done a variation on that leather, like a variation on the Essex leather. They've done some bags out of it that are incredible. And then I believe Coronado Leather has done some really cool, like stonewashed, sort of tumbled versions of the Dublin and the Essex. So there's other people that are doing really cool, interesting things with leather that I admire. David Macy says the Natural M's Chrome Excel is interesting to me. I love the patina on my wallet. You know what? I'll be honest about this guy. I love the leather and I love the Herbie. I kind of miss the thumb notch on the outside. So it's a little bit less functional than how we originally considered the Fat Herbie to be. I miss having that thumb notch. I find it to be a little bit more cumbersome to use. I like Fat Herbie. But what this gives you is that sort of consistent look on the outside, and then it's all M's through the inside too. So it's an aesthetic trade-off. This was the first tall version of any wallet that I'd worn. I wanted to see what it would do. I also like the huge context of leather on the outside of this guy. It's just like a huge chunk. And by the way, I'm rich right now. I've got so much cash in here. So this thing's, it's not as thick as it looked. This is also that thin horsehide Natural M's. It's really nice. We didn't do as well with the M's Chrome XL as I would have liked, by the way. I thought people would really like that. And I don't know if I did a good enough job describing it. I probably should have shown how it wears in, which is hard to do because it takes a long time to like show you what that leather's going to do. But if you found a product that's made out of the M's Chrome XL, I suggest it. Oh my god, the 5K key fobs are gone? Holy 100 fobs went pretty fast. Are you kidding me? That's crazy, you guys. Thank you. That's really humbling. Wow. Thanks, guys. We'll get those sent out as soon as I can. I can't believe that. That's crazy, Hugh. Kit Fireburn says, what's your most popular bifold wallet? Our most popular style of, actually it's our best-selling item total, is the Giant of the Fox. It's a very traditional bifold with the 3 card slots on each side, and then there's a hidden card slot underneath each side. So it's pretty challenging to make, especially sourcing the thin leathers. But this is our best seller. Not in this particular color because we can't make this. But our best-selling wallet is the English Hand Dublin version of the Giant of the Fox. I bet you our best-selling wallet would be the 100% Color 8 Shell Fox. We just can't keep it in stock because we keep making batches and they keep selling out sort of immediately. And I wish we could make more. Just sourcing that particular thickness of leather is pretty challenging. It's sort of like you kind of have to just cross your fingers that it's going to be thinner. BC got a key fob. Awesome, man. Bill Center says, love my Fat Herbie Shell Cordovan, beautiful brownish red color 8, depending on how you look, how the light hits it. So many compartments. It's funny, I was looking at the same thing today on exactly that same shell color on the color 8. I was trying to, sometimes when I do training with my team, I like to tell stories about how things happened so we have like a better like mental memory for them. It's like a quick anecdote about Fat Herbie's the first wallet we did. You know, that's the easy one to remember. The color 8's funny because I was noticing that same thing. It's like, how do you describe this color? Because it changes. So some angles is dark brown, and then other angles more of this sort of oxblood reddish burgundies come through. And then as you spin it, it just changes color. It's really fun. But the part we were laughing at was the word color 8. Like, it's become a daily word for us to use. And like people that are into this are really familiar with color 8. But like my mom doesn't know what color 8 is. It's just confusing. So it's the least marketable color name ever. And the other interesting thing is running a business where you sell color 8 Shell Cordovan products. You can't use the hashtag for color number 8, which is how I used to write it all the time at the tannery. So it's become difficult to sell color 8 on the internet. But it's just because they came up with that name before marketing was like a thing. They're like, what color is that dye? Oh, it's color 8 dye. All right, put it in there. Hugh says, I'm keen to get a reverse shell strap for my G-Shock at some point. I suggest reverse shell straps. You get shell touching your wrist. In fact, a normal shell strap also is good because the reverse side of the shell is really comfortable on your wrist too. Hugh says, got my partner a black Dublin Frank with some really prominent grain character. She loves how unique it looks. I love black Dublin. Lil Len, we didn't do a giveaway, but we did 100 key fobs for, I had to put them up on the site for as low of value as I could. So I put them up for $1 and it sounds like they're gone already, which is wild. So today we did those key fobs for $1. There was a card holder prototype that I gave for $5 made out of shell. It was like the deal of a lifetime. And then we had a few different private stock wallets that we looked at in this video and then announced. I put them up on the site. Harley says, "Hey Phil, opened up my new English channel Dublin Johnny the Fox the other day. Love it. We'll leave a review soon." Hey, I really appreciate that. Those reviews are very a very big deal, and I'm very humbled by like our review site. How did I describe it? So we have a website, ashlandleather.com, that is hosted on a platform called Shopify. And Shopify will collect reviews for you, or you can pay for another company to helpfully source those reviews for you and sort of present them to you in a nice way and present them to the customers in a nice way. So the ones that the company we use is called reviews.io. And they have like a whole webpage for us that shows every review, and it sort of shows all of our rating, and like we're pretty surprised like how well we're rated. Let's see. I'll link it in here. So yeah, we have, what is this? So we have 1,600 reviews at 4.94 star rating, which is very awesome. Like we're trying, that's our number one thing here, is to have to make you guys happy. So I dropped our link in there, but it's always fun for me to sort of read through these. I will reach out to customers that are have concerns. So if that's the other thing, like even if you want to give me 1 star, it's good because it makes me better. Because I will reach out to people and I called a customer today that left us like a 3-star review and just say, I want to check in and make things right for you. So there's value to leaving negative reviews, and I welcome them. So I'm not trying to only get great reviews. Sometimes we drop the ball, and I appreciate an opportunity to make it right. In fact, the best thing would be to, if you got an issue with something, anything that we send you, you're like, hey, I'm a little bit worried about this. What do you think? Just ask me the question. And at the end of the day, I'm going to be straight up with you, but I'll tell you, yeah, that's a problem, or no, that's pretty normal. But if you don't like it, I'm happy to replace it or give you your money back or whatever. And then I'd appreciate a review. But you can leave a review before you talk to me. But usually people that come at me in like a kind way, I want to go out of my way to help. Happy holidays, my cool classics. Oh, here's a good name. Catboy Eats Apples. Oh, you got an M Turby. Catboy, that's cool, man. We're going to be sort of wallet buddies. I really, really like your wallet. I really like that one. It's got great texture on the outside too. I think you'll be struck by like the footprint of the wallet is larger, but you'll be struck by how the thickness is just perfect on that one. I think you're going to love it. And if you haven't worn a Herbie before, it's the best back pocket wallet. I feel confident saying that. Rob says, I think Johnny's and Tony's would have sold better than Herbie's and M's. Yeah, maybe that was the problem. Yeah, I'm trying to do... there's too many good ideas. And sometimes I don't execute what I think is a good idea in like a good way. So I think what we should have done with the M's is the same way we did it with the Arabica leather, which went over really well. We actually had to go buy more leather. We sold so much Luxe. But if I were to do the M's Chrome Excel again, I'll pick the same 2 colors, maybe just 1 color, and make one of everything that we make, and just do a pre-order on it, and you can pick whatever you want. It's really, I don't think people understand the challenge of making like a private stock wallet. Making a 1 piece it takes as long as it would take to make 3, just because you're not able to batch things together. But when I can do sort of a group order on 10 of the same exact things, it's much more efficient for our team to quickly make that. So I think if I were to do that again, I would do 1 of every wallet, maybe a watch strap if we could, if the thickness was appropriate. Maybe even a 1 shot. Yeah, for sure, a one shot, and then just release them as a pre-order could be a good way to get more people to experience more leathers. I also thought it was really successful tying it into Alden releasing that shoe, because people were able to buy like a $20 card holder in the same leather as the shoe, and it was a specific challenge because nobody had ever seen that leather before. They only had photos to represent how that Alden boot was going to look. So I think people got a lot of value out of seeing that leather in person and feeling it and sort of smelling it. There's really no substitute for that. I mean, even with the camera, there's a sensory thing to it that's pretty unique. Nataku says, why is that Color 8 Gator private stock only $5? I was going to make it $1 actually, and then I thought 5 would be more appropriate for 5K subs. But we weren't the team and I were talking about it today. This guy. We just weren't super happy with the functionality with this sort of, if you look at the cross section, maybe. It just, the cards are a little bit, it's not easy to get them in and out. So we just weren't perfectly happy with it. So basically wanted to give it away. It's a beautiful piece. I love the aesthetic of it. It just doesn't function as well as we want. Just Me says, Phil, I have a question. How do different types of leather react to moisture or water? Which one would best withstand occasional splashes of water? That's a really good question. And it sort of depends on, to me, it depends on what you're doing. If it's a wallet, I would not spend a minute worrying about water resistance. A lot of people want to talk about water resistance on footwear and like waterproof leathers. I think it's kind of missing the point. Like for me, I have waterproof boots, but they're not leather. And the reason why is because I know too much. Waterproofing is not a permanent thing on leather. They can apply different materials and tan them inside of the leather that will cause the molecules to swell when they interact with water, which makes it not penetrate fully through. But that swelling oil that they tan into the skin can be defeated with soaps and solvents and even just flexing. So any leather that's sold as waterproof won't last very long at all. So I don't recommend it. I just use hiking boots, something you get at REI for like a waterproof boot. It's like a rubber boot. But to more fully answer your question, I've got a bunch of Chrome Excel boots. I have some Shell boots. They're all, the Shell's not, but the Chrome Excel's marketed as water resistant. It does roll off. In fact, it's snowing here in Chicago today. I'm wearing my trench boots in natural Chrome Excel, and the snow was sort of beating up and rolling off on these, which is neat. But if you're going to stand in a puddle of water, you're going to get soaked. Your foot's going to get soaked up with water. So you're never going to avoid it. And you shouldn't worry about it either. It's like, do you get worried about your hands when your hands get wet? Probably not. You probably just dry them off. And that's how I approach the leather also. The only thing that I do think about a lot is when I wash my hands, I tend to not use a lot of lotion because I'm lazy and I don't really care. But sometimes my hands get pretty chapped and gross, especially in the winter. They get really dried out. Treat your leather in the same way that you would treat your hands, with one caveat, which is you can sort of overdo it. You can saturate the leather with so much conditioner or so much polish that it starts to look like polish. So don't do that. Just start with a very small amount and go from there. When I first started messing around with this stuff, I had a tendency to keep applying polish because it wasn't getting as shiny as I thought it should be. But it turned out the more polish I put on, the more it started to look like wax, which was more hazy. So it's actually counterintuitive. It's the less you put on, the better. It's a lot of elbow grease is a key to sort of restoring the look of things. Just a brush, really. You just take a little horsehair brush. That's really all you got to do. I don't know if that answered your question about water, but I went off on a long tangent. PRP2 says, gave my nephew an English tan Dublin Bugs for Christmas. Is able to fill him in on some of the details of the leather. Thank you for your passion for it. You're welcome. And I'm so glad that happened. That's the whole reason I'm here. I love just sharing the leather. JR says, just picked up the JTF 100% natural shell. Oh my God, man. This is yours. JR got this. This is I can't say enough good stuff about this. I think in our history, we've made less than 10 of these. So that's a really special one. You just can't get that leather. Kit Fireburn said, wanted to test drive something English tan Dublin, so I got a comb. Thanks, Kit. Those combs I actually use that same thing. I use that carbon fiber comb. I actually have a metal one also, and the handle. I have all their stuff. But I believe you picked up the Model 1 carbon fiber, which is a cool shaped one. It's like yay big. And I use that one. I use the sheath just to like throw it in the sheath and put it in my vanity drawer. It works great. Love it. Nataku says, been sub since under 500. Follow me to 1 million. Could you imagine 1 million? That's crazy. And thanks, Nataku. It's always great to see your name, man. Pajama Man says, speaking of straps, you need to pick up some more NATO straps at some point. I've always been tempted by black shell. Have had your chromic shell, but not the traditional black shell Cordovan. If you're actually meaning chromic shell, yeah, that was a pretty unique piece. Right now we only have 20 millimeter NATO straps. It'd be good to get. We haven't sold a lot of NATO straps because it's my understanding that the distance from the spring bar to the case of a watch strap is often pretty tight, and we need to pick thinner leathers, which are a challenge to get, to fit between that spring bar and the case of the watch. So NATOs have been a big challenge for us, not only for that thickness reason, but also because it's such a long piece of leather. We could rather easily do some non-shell stuff, but I think a lot of people are coming to us for shell. So I'd like to expand our NATO straps into probably some 18 millimeters next. But the NATOs I really like the vibe of a NATO. I would totally have a NATO for this Apple Watch if this did not require an opening for like reading my pulse underneath it. I think there's a way around that, which we might try to solve for a NATO strap for an Apple Watch. I think it would be more of like what are those called? Like the gauntlet. Forget the style. A bunch strap. I think you could sort of achieve that on an Apple Watch, but I just haven't done it. 1 million. What should we do for 1 million subs? Jolly Pig, super pig. Need to get Grandpa a shell strap for his Rolex. 100%. And they look great. We have on our website. We have, if you look at the black shell strap, I'm looking right now. We used to have a photo of what it looks like on a sub, I think. But we used to have some photos up. I don't know where it is. Harley says, I'm not surprised how well reviewed you are. Your products are amazing and you have some of the best customer service. That's awesome. That makes my day, Harley. Thank you. Everything I'm purchased from Ashland thus far has been deserving of 5 stars, not blowing smoke, just the honest truth. That's really cool. Really cool. Do you have a product you recommend as a business card holder? Looking to do some networking. Yeah. So Harley, I'm I'm looking over there because that's where they are. But I'm trying to launch a business card holder in the next couple weeks, hopefully next week. But it's been pretty crazy with the vacations and holidays and COVID and stuff. We have a model with business cards in mind. It's got a gusset in it, so it expands when you load it up, and it has a flap closure. Stay tuned for that, Harley. I think you're going to like it. There's one out there in the world right now. I think somebody posted it in our Facebook Patina Masters group. So if you're in that group, you might find it there. He said, I made the same mistake when I first got my shell wallet, ended up putting my more and more quarter cream on it. Yeah, less is more for polish, for sure. Josh says, loving my English tan Dublin. Tony the Ant. Nice, man. Those Tonys, I'm so glad my team actually cleaned up. There was a batch out on the table here of Tonys that we're working on right now. It's like so nice in that English tan Dublin. Nataku says, Phil, I might be getting a Rolex and the lug width is 19. Can I get it custom? We can do 19 millimeters. Yep. We actually take our 20 millimeter pattern and we actually sand it down a half a millimeter on each side. So you get 19 and they work great. We've done many of those. We've even done a few 17s. PRP2 says, speaking of NATO, going to attach my black shell strap to my Triwa automatic. I actually don't know that. I'd be curious to see what that looks like. You want to send me an email with your watch, PRP2? My email's phil@ashlandleather.com. For a bunt style Apple Watch strap, I suppose you could have a hole in the back where the pulse reader goes. Exactly right. That's what I was thinking for the bunt style. I would really like to do that just because I think the NATOs are so cool. So I would make it look like a NATO strap, but to do sort of like a tight bunt around it might be neat. Guys, I got to go bring groceries home. I'm going to go get some groceries for my family. And, man, I always love doing these live streams. It's really fun to hang out and talk about leather. I say this every single time. I wish I could do it more. I really, really enjoy this. So thank you guys for allowing me to do this. It would be pretty boring by myself. So I appreciate you guys. Everybody that got a fob, the 100 of you that got one of these fobs. Whoa. Thank you for subscribing and picking up a fob. Everybody that's picked up a private stock today, thank you guys so much. We made and sent out thousands of wallets this holiday, and it was a lot of work, and I'm really, really excited to have everybody's support over the last 10 years and specifically like now. So thank you guys so much. Thinking back of how it started, like on my couch and in Dan's garage, and I just said we sent thousands of wallets in like a month. That's crazy. So we have to figure out how to keep it going and keep it fresh and exciting. Got more good ideas than time. So maybe we'll do another giveaway. I think I'd like to do it sooner than later. We'll do another key fob thing at like 7,500. So thanks again, guys. I'm wrapping it up here.